Hello and welcome. If you're a fan of TLC's 90-Day Fiancé, you need to sit down for this. We have obtained exclusive documents, spoken to sources close to all parties involved, and pieced together a timeline so shocking, it redefines the meaning of a secret relationship. Today, we're going to break it all down. Leona officially divorced her husband, Guillermo, and finally Leona married her secret boyfriend David. Leona has been secretly in a romantic relationship with David for the past 1 year. This is a story of love, betrayal, and secrets hiding in plain sight. This is Kara's secret. To understand the magnitude of this revelation, we have to go back to the beginning. Let's revisit the love story we all thought we knew. Leona, a confident and successful property manager from Coatesville, Pennsylvania, first met Guillermo, a charming and considerably younger aspiring architect, while on vacation in the Dominican Republic. Their connection was instant and electric. Their storyline was classic 90-Day Fiancé: the older American woman, the younger foreign man, the skeptical family, and the looming K-1 visa process. Guillermo's wide-eyed wonder at America contrasted with Kara's sometimes stern, pragmatic approach. They fought, they made up, and ultimately, they convinced us, and themselves, that their love was strong enough to overcome anything. They seemed to have made it. They navigated the visa process, they got married on television, and they settled into married life in Pennsylvania, often sharing their journey with fans on social media. They were a success story. But behind the curated Instagram posts and filtered smiles, cracks were beginning to form, and they were deeper than anyone realized. The first public sign that all was not well came in the form of social media silence. Fans of the couple, who call themselves Gara shippers, began to notice subtle but telling changes. In early 2023, the couple, who once posted each other constantly, suddenly stopped. Guillermo's posts showed him spending more time with friends, often back in New York City, where he initially lived. Kara's feed became focused on her work, her girlfriends, and solo trips. The comment sections, once filled with their loving banter, went quiet. We spoke to a source very close to Guillermo, who asked to remain anonymous, who gave us insight into what was really happening behind closed doors. Our secret source says, the cameras left and real life set in. The age gap became a bigger deal. Guillermo was still a young man who wanted to go out, build a career, have fun. Kara was ready to settle down, buy a house, have kids, like immediately. There was a lot of pressure. They were fighting about money, about where to live, about everything. They grew apart. It wasn't one big blow-up. It was a slow fade. Our investigation confirms that by mid-2023, Guillermo had moved out of their shared apartment and back to New York City, a separation they kept hidden from the public. They were living separate lives, but the legal ties of marriage remained. But here is where the story takes its first dark turn. While Guillermo was in New York, trying to figure out his life post-reality TV, Kara was not alone in Pennsylvania. She had already found a new source of comfort, a man our sources identify only as David. The name David meant nothing to the 90-Day Fiancé community. He was a ghost. But through exhaustive digging and source interviews, we have pieced together a profile of the man at the center of the scandal. David is not from the reality TV world. He is, according to our sources, a 34-year-old real estate investor based in Philadelphia. He is described as successful, private, and fiercely protective of his personal life. He and Kara reportedly met through mutual professional circles in late 2022. It started very innocently. They were at a networking event. David wasn't a fan of the show. He had no idea who she was. He was just interested in her. They connected over business, but the chemistry was undeniable. At first, it was just lunches. Then it became more. Our sources indicate that by spring of 2023, while Kara was still legally married to Guillermo, and their separation was a secret, her relationship with David had become romantic and serious. But how did they keep it a secret? They were incredibly careful. Our digital forensics team analyzed thousands of data points, social media geotags, follows, likes, and posts from friends. We found a pattern. Cara would post a photo from a coffee shop in Cokesville. At the same time, an account belonging to a friend of David's would post a group photo from a restaurant in Philadelphia. And on the edge of the frame, you could just see the sleeve of a jacket Cara had been photographed in weeks prior. They were using friends as shields, meeting in neutral locations, and meticulously avoiding being photographed together. This was a deliberate, concerted effort to hide the relationship. The question is, why? Were they protecting Guillermo? Protecting their own privacy? Or was there another reason? The timeline suggests that Cara was involved with David for nearly a year before her divorce was even filed. This overlap is the crux of the scandal. Now we get to the hard evidence. The divorce. Reality TV Cribs has obtained the official court documents for the dissolution of marriage between Cara Leona and Guillermo Roja. The petition was filed by Cara in the Chester County Court of Common Pleas in Pennsylvania in October 2023. The listed date of separation is June 2023, which aligns with our sources' accounts of Guillermo moving to New York. The grounds are listed as an irretrievable breakdown of the marriage, which is the no-fault divorce option in Pennsylvania. Notably, the documents show that the divorce was uncontested. This means Guillermo did not fight it. He agreed to the terms. There are no spousal support orders, and they had a prenuptial agreement which simplified the division of assets. The divorce was finalized by a judge just this morning. For Guillermo, this was the closing of a difficult chapter. A source tells us he is saddened but relieved to have it officially over, so he can move on with his life. He has been focusing on his architecture career and has been seeing someone new himself, though it is casual. But for Cara, this wasn't an end. It was a necessary step for a new beginning that was already well underway. The finalization of the divorce wasn't a finish line. It was the unlocking of a door she was ready to sprint through. This is the most shocking part of our investigation. We can now exclusively reveal that within hours of her divorce from Guillermo Roja being finalized, Cara Leona married David. That's right. On the very same day she became legally single, she became a married woman again. Our sources indicate that the couple, along with a very small group of witnesses, fewer than 10 people, had everything prepared and gathered at a private residence in Malvern, Pennsylvania. It was wild. They had a judge on standby. The moment her lawyer called to confirm the divorce was official, the ceremony began. It was like a covert operation. Everyone had to sign NDAs. Phones were collected. It was over in 20 minutes. Then they had a small dinner. We have obtained a copy of the marriage license application filed with the Pennsylvania Department of Health. This is a critical piece of the puzzle. In Pennsylvania, you must apply for a marriage license at least 3 days before the ceremony. This proves that Cara and David applied for this license while she was still married to Guillermo. While this is not illegal, you can apply for a license while married to someone else. You just can't use it until you're divorced. It is a stunning admission of intent. It shows they planned this immediate wedding weeks, if not months in advance. So let's be perfectly clear. Cara Leona was legally married to Guillermo while romantically involved with David and while actively planning her wedding to him. The divorce today was merely a technicality she had to wait for. The emotional calculus of this situation is complex. How is Guillermo handling this? We reached out to his representatives but received no comment. However, our source close to him provided some insight. He's hurt, obviously. Finding out that she had moved on so quickly and so seriously while they were still tied together, it feels like a betrayal. He had suspicions, but to have it confirmed like this and to see the wedding happen literally on the same day, it's a lot. He's trying to take the high road, but he feels like their entire relationship, the marriage, has been disrespected. The fan reaction on social media has been explosive. The hashtag #GarEyes oval is trending worldwide. The 90-day fiancé subreddit and fan forums are melting down with activity. The overarching feeling is one of betrayal, not just for Guillermo, but for the fans who invested in their story. The authenticity of their entire on-screen romance is now being questioned. And what of David? He enters a marriage under a storm of controversy, linked to a reality TV scandal he seemingly wanted no part of. Can their relationship, built in secrecy, survive the blinding glare of the public spotlight? This story, while now out in the open, still leaves us with several burning questions. When did it really start? Was it an emotional affair before it became physical? What will TLC do? Will they address this on a future episode of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Or will this remain a dark, off-screen chapter? This is a classic tale of reality TV versus real life. The persona we see on screen is often a polished version of a much more complicated truth. Cara and Guillermo's story sold us on a fairy tale, but the reality was far more complex, messy, and ultimately heartbreaking for one party involved. The story of Cara, Guillermo, and David is still unfolding. We will continue to follow it and bring you any updates. What do you think? Was Cara justified in moving on so quickly? Was Guillermo wronged? Let us know in the comments below. More update. Cara Leona has recently accused her husband, Guillermo Roja, of being unfaithful. According to Cara, Guillermo may even be projecting his own actions onto her. She admitted that their relationship is not working, raising concerns about the couple's future together. Amid this personal turmoil, Cara released her new song Criminal, which many fans believe mirrors her own life experiences and reflects the challenges she has faced in love and marriage. With divorce rumors circulating, fans are left wondering, are Cara Leona and Guillermo Roja still together, or is this the beginning of the end for their relationship? I will explain everything. 90 Day Fiancé. Cara accuses Guillermo of being unfaithful, thinks he is projecting his own actions. Season 9 of AHA has been a precarious one for Guillermo Roja and Cara Bass. They have a communication problem and a lot of trust concerns after having their kid, Nicholas. Serious accusations have begun to fly between the 90 Day Fiancé contestants. Guillermo was quite critical of Cara because she was at her ex's place at 3 in the morning. He had his doubts about her allegiance due to their history. The reality TV star appears to be innocent, but Cara is casting doubt on his loyalty and accusing him of the same. She couldn't help but wonder whether Guillermo's trust issues were a reflection of his own conduct. Despite her best efforts, the reality TV personality believes her husband had done something wrong. Their lack of trust and communication has many wondering if the couple's problems are genuine or just a symptom. What gives Cara that impression? In reality, what transpired? Cara Bass's behavior on AHA has been perplexing viewers. While the latter was having a tantrum over her freedom, Guillermo Roja saw that the former was smiling at someone's texts. At the Latin night gathering, his wife casually informed him that she had met her ex-DJ at his apartment. This caught him off guard. It was shocking to the reality TV star to see his wife at her ex-house at 3 in the morning. When Guillermo brought up Cara's history of relationships, he questioned whether it was appropriate. But Cara told her husband he shouldn't question her as she's strong about her limits. I met this human literally once in 2011, she revealed. Since then, we have remained close friends. Evidently, Guillermo recalls that he was the one who intended to dump Bass following their nuptials. Cara Bass has been making numerous attempts to disprove the notion that she is the source of marital strife. She did her utmost to dispel whatever suspicions Guillermo might have had about her and her ex. Everything has been going wrong, and the reality TV personality is blaming their inability to communicate. But it seems like Cara has plans to turn the tables on her husband and make him the true villain. Some time ago, she began to suspect that Guillermo was trying to conceal something from her. I refuse to accept the idea that he would engage in such behavior, she stated. The 90 Day Fiancé star's husband brought up accusations though, and she feels that her mom's remarks are coming back to haunt her. Cara's mom brought up a scene from the most recent episode in which her son-in-law showered immediately upon returning home from a late shift. Because of this, Bass questioned if Roja is attempting to deflect responsibility for his own behavior onto the allegations. The reality TV stars seek love and a meaningful relationship. Sitting down and talking about how they feel would be better than Cara and Guillermo making assumptions. A therapy session is currently underway with them. It would appear that the pair is struggling in every way. Whether or not the TLC stars can come up with a solution is something fans will have to wait to find out. Unfortunately, the most recent updates from Cara and Guillermo paint a different picture. They probably aren't living apart and are co-parenting their son. Cara says relationship with Guillermo is not working. The most recent episode of 90 Days to a Happily Ever After features a dramatic turn of events involving Cara and Guillermo. It seems like the pair is in the middle of an argument after Cara's late-night Latin party with her friends and a previous DJ. Inquiring into Cara's relationship with someone he thought had ties to her, Guillermo was utterly enraged by the scenario. Cara and Guillermo have a hard time realizing one another's perspectives. According to the former, the connection with the DJ should remain strictly professional. Nonetheless, Guillermo remains skeptical. Their escalating argument has admirers wondering if their marriage is on the brink of collapse due to persistent problems with trust and communication. There have been major marital issues recently for Cara and Guillermo on 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After. There was a rift between the famous couple about their financial situation in the past. Their relationship has deteriorated due to Cara's focus on music and Guillermo's interest in aviation, which are at odds with one another. The famous couple has also been having problems with closeness, which has been causing them to withdraw from one another. It appears like Guillermo and Cara's relationship is on the brink of collapse due to Guillermo's mounting skepticism of Cara. Last week's episode of 90 Days to a Happily Ever After exposed the marital problems that Cara and Guillermo are experiencing. In a rare videotape obtained by E! The pair is seen getting into a heated dispute, with Guillermo making accusations that Cara is seeing someone from her past. Cara, according to Guillermo, was out dancing the night away with her pals and a DJ until 3 or 4 in the morning. The fact that she has known the same guy before has made him feel strange. His feeling of safety in their connection was undermined by his discomfort with their interactions. Cara responds by detailing her brief encounter with DJ. "I met this person in 2011. Since then, we have been extremely close friends," she adds. Cara stresses that she exclusively visits the guy for work-related purposes, specifically to promote her music. Even after hearing Cara out, Guillermo remains unconvinced. As she confronted Guillermo about his distrust, Cara was deeply wounded. "He is accusing me of something, but there is no proof of it, and that hurts me," she stated. Cara proceeded by saying, "I have never done anything," demonstrating her unwavering devotion. "The wildest part is that I have never stopped having your back," she yells out to him, expressing her dissatisfaction with their relationship. Cara and Guillermo's trust troubles have fans wondering if they can salvage their marriage. Cara Leona's new song Criminal mirrors her personal life, reflects her own journey. As always, Cara Leona's daring new hymn is the talk of the town. She has been putting her musical talents to the test, and her fans have been nothing but supportive. Launching 2 consecutive smash hits, the 90 Day Fiance star is carving out a niche for herself beyond reality television. Cara has shocked her fans with a hotter version of her new tune Criminal, which she released recently. Her most recent song, she said frankly, is a reflection of her own path. The TLC star elaborated on the ways in which it relates to her own life. The vivacious and energetic Leona has long been a fan favorite. She is currently putting the same intensity into her music, which has resulted in a string of smashes. The most recent season of Happily Ever After features the marital issues of Cara Leona and Guillermo Roja, stars of 90 Day Fiance. With her husband's blessing, the former is launching a successful career as a bachata singer. She was taken aback when her husband told her he was leaving their job to pursue a career as a pilot. The TLC pair is having a hard time dealing with their growing trust concerns while still juggling their careers. Observing Cara's smile in response to someone's texts made Guillermo question her allegiance. Upon hearing her husband's accusations, the latter was taken aback. She had the impression that her spouse was keeping something from her as well. In the previews, the reality TV personality asked Guillermo whether he had been with other women while married to her. Who is responsible will be revealed in the following episodes, much to the fans' anticipation. Once again, Leona's new daring musical single has been getting people talking. Criminal, her new song video, was recently uploaded to her YouTube channel. The TLC star recently discussed her new music in an interview. After stating, "It's kind of a spicier type of energy," Leona went on to describe how the entire idea relates to her own life. She portrayed a lady who, after being betrayed, decided to become the victim of betrayal herself in order to exact revenge. The 90-Day Fiancé star opened up about the heartbreak that happens when people love deeply but ultimately fail to commit. Because of this, Cara showed how betrayal compels victims to act similarly toward others. In her statement, she made it clear, "I'm never doing that again. I'm just going to steal hearts, and I'm not going to care. It is so painful to be open and trusting with someone, and then have everything fall apart," the bachata singer said. The video shows Leona tape the lips of her co-stars, Jamal, Rob, and Josh, before stealing a kiss. The 90-Day Bad Boys were also a part of her story, which she shared with Oak magazine. "Bringing together 90 Day and my music is something I adore," the TLC star revealed. The actress heaped admiration on her co-stars, saying how hard they worked on the video. Leona and Guillermo Roja still together. Inside those divorce rumors, Cara, then 29 years old, and Guillermo, then 23 years old, were introduced to TLC fans on Season 9 of 90 Day Fiancé. While Cara was in the Dominican Republic on a business trip, the two happened to meet. The next step was for Cara to be asked to take a job in the Dominican Republic. She didn't know anyone there except Guillermo. Cara and Guillermo surprised their relatives by being engaged after immediately deciding to move in together. During their appearances on 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, fans have noticed friction between the married parents and the aspiring pilot, who dances bachata. Following the episode of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After that aired on September 8, scroll down to discover all the details regarding Cara and Guillermo's relationship, social media presence, and more. Cara and Guillermo have remained mum about their split as of September 2025. The fact that they have unfollowed one another on Instagram says it all about their strained relationship. Cara and Guillermo have made it plain since their debut on Season 9 of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, that their relationship has been troubled by challenges related to closeness, job, and other matters. Episode 10 marked the beginning of Cara and Guillermo's separation. "I wished it were different," Cara confessed. "I don't think we're compatible. It in no way diminishes my affection, concern, and esteem for you as a parent and a son," she instead stated. "I simply believe that we hold radically divergent narratives regarding our arrival at this point." Cara revealed early in the season that Guillermo had abandoned her before their reunion in episode 10. She said, "He departed. A few of days ago he departed. I think we're both hoping this is only temporary," she continued. "We just got to the point where we can't even talk without it devolving into a fight," Cara said during filming, explaining why she asked him to leave. What happened in 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Episode 4? Cara disputed Guillermo's accusations that she had done anything wrong in Season 9. Even though the altercation didn't take place on camera, Cara informed producers, "Guillermo saw me laughing and writing on my phone a few days ago, and he legitimately thinks that I'm hiding something." When questioned about the validity of his accusation, Cara adamantly stated, "There's zero truth to his accusations." Although Cara and Guillermo's reconciliation is unknown, Cara did say, "I don't know. I just feel like sometimes I feel okay, and I'm optimistic that everything's going to be fine. And then other times it feels like we're really on the brink, like on the edge of the end." Recalling their initial feelings for one another is the saddest part, as Cara puts it. "I remember how joyful we were," she said. "You know, there's this new Guillermo that I feel like a whole different person from the old Guillermo. And then there's the old Guillermo, whom I truly adore. How he arrived here is a mystery to me." Rumors started circulating in Season 9 that Cara and Guillermo were no longer in a relationship. As the episode was airing, social media detectives saw a clear indicator of a split amongst reality stars. Cara and Guillermo no longer follow each other on Instagram. Cara and Guillermo both share images of their son, but you won't see any of the three of them together very often anymore. The fact that Cara and Guillermo don't appear to be wearing